Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the golden goose that keeps laying shit-covered eggs on my garden, well, it just won't leave. We got MrPokke here yet again, ladies and gentlemen, with a follow-up on his Art of the Gacha War video. And so this is a follow-up video that I guess he's decided to go ahead with because, well, he's met not a sub goal, but he's met a bit of a like goal, as you can see on this video. 1,000 likes, and we do a part 2. So that one's good to go. Unfortunately, for the part 2 that MrPokke has filmed and hasn't actually uploaded yet, we got his channel pretty much open and ready to go. It's been 13 hours since his last vid. His stream ended like 2 hours ago, but it was a 6-hour stream, so he recorded this entire segment like 8 hours ago, and it's not uploaded for some reason. And the only thing I can imagine is that he probably bumbled over quite a few points, and it's not making a lot of sense. But this is a hit piece on me. You can see my face in my videos. They're showing up in that. It's very identifiable, right? They're showing up quite frequently. MrPokke triggered my trap card. One of the main points of critique that I had for his awful video on how Gacha Wars was made was that this was clearly a hit piece made on me. That's why I'm featured at the start. And he said I'm the basis for why the video was made. But throughout the vid, what is one thing you don't see anywhere towards this hit piece that's targeted around me, right? Talking about all these fallacies, all these nasty things that are going on that are ruining the argumentation. Not a single clip for myself. Not a single reference to anything that I said, merely just implying that I'm doing all of these things, right? That I'm doing all of these things and without any proof. And so Pokke decided to, in this attempt, right, that was clearly even more awfully researched than his first one, he's decided to actually provide those clips. But this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Because he provided the clips, I can get the direct quotes. And what that means is, I can go ahead and just directly source and actually provide the full backing and the full argumentation and the full reasoning behind all my points. And you'll see from what Pokke does, he's doing the exact opposite. Because all I need to do, guys, is show you this tweet over here. And this is Pokke proving that I'm using an ad hominem. Are you ready for this? This is Pokke proving that I'm using ad hominem. Attacking the person rather than the argument. Attacking the person making the argument, not the argument itself. Ready to hear the point? The thing is, this just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Because if you weren't retarded, you'd be able to identify there's a literal fallacy in this video and you wouldn't have published it. So, the point that's clearly being made over here is that this is why I'm calling Pokke and his editors retarded. You might be wondering, what is this? Pokke doesn't tell you, intentionally. But I will. Let's listen to this part of the video. The thing is, this just leads me to believe that This just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team. You can see the direct quote over here. Let's see why I say that.
Against themselves by pitting, oh, if you like watering waves, you must.
Oh, so now Pokke is going ahead and creating his own false dilemma. Pokke is creating this dilemma. You either like Enfield or you're a shill for another game and you're just hating it. By the way, this is the that Pokke cut out of the tweet. Right? Because that's the entire point he was trying to drive over here, right?
Why these arguments, these
and you can see me on the screen.
Pointers being brought up is because of these things called fallacies.
Yeah.
And my objective today is to simply illustrate.
This is from the start of his video. You can see it over here. This is from the start. This is from the start of his video.
5 common fallacies that you can use as a gacha warrior to destroy your enemies who dares to oppose your path because your gacha game is the greatest gacha game.
So that's literally the moral dilemma played out live, or the false dilemma played out live in this video. You either don't doom post Arknight's Enfield, or you're somebody that's just chilling your game and trying to make Enfield look bad. And now look at the line that's coming up now, boys. Remember, this is the guy saying, I'm using fallacies. This just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Because if you weren't retarded, you'd be able to identify there's a literal fallacy in this video and you wouldn't have published it. That's where that quote is from. I call Pokke retarded after he makes an entire point about how others are using this fallacy, and then he proceeds to use the worst implementation of it at the start of his own vid as the premise. And so I said, man, it's kind of crazy to make a video talking about how bad the other side's arguments are and then use that literal argumentation style to provide the basis for the video. I said that's retarded. Because most people would agree after hearing that, that sounds like something only somebody dumb would do. MrPokke has decided to go ahead and call that an ad hominem. Guys, if somebody has an IQ of 20, let's just use an example here. If Pokke has an IQ of 20, and I say, Pokke has an IQ of 20, he's mentally retarded. This is like Pokke spliced out the part where I said he's mentally retarded, and then is saying that's ad hominem. No, at that point, it's a fact. If you have 20 IQ, you probably are, like, mentally retarded. It's not ad hominem, it's just a fact. And at that point, it's an explanation. And at this point, seeing that this is the example that he's decided to try to say is ad hominem, I think that 20 IQ thing might actually be true. As you can see from that very short example that we just provided, Pokke's not going to be spitting. Because one thing that you'll be able to see, guys, is that he uses that exact clip in this video. And I think that's one of the big reasons for why this is never going to get uploaded. If it does, great. But Pokke has a history of not uploading videos that he records on stream when they're about me, and he actually thought he was spitting, but he wasn't. That's where the intro of this video comes from. Pokke crashed out again.
This fucking uncle want to talk about Singapore. I got fucking problem with my accent of my country. Limpe happily minding my own fucking business. This one will be a condescending towards my entire country. My friend Pokke called him a dog, right? I will show him a lot of fucking face already. No fucker hell. Tagton also called him a dog, right? Right, Tagton also say he's a fucking dog, right? Huh? Why so pressed? PMS ah? He called you a good boy ah? Want me to feel trees or not? Kanina, your fucking ass also jealous of the amount of shit coming out from your mouth every other day. There's nothing fucking right in your left brain, nothing fucking left in your right brain. And you...
This video's not on his channel. He never uploaded this one. And you can probably see the reason for why he didn't upload it. So I'm going to recognize that this is something that Pokke does. I've already showed you all the receipts and the proof for it. And I think during the live stream, because Pokke was getting gassed up by, like, you know, Pokke was getting gassed up by Maggie over here. You know, it's like a cute little rat family, right? You got like Pokke, Jenna, Maggie, and I think like Gateo. Oh, you can also see they're glazing him on the Gateo Island server over here. So you even got like that extra rat coming in too. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, it's basically this entire thing, right? And so I think Pokke just got like really inspired by seeing all the support from a bunch of losers in his chat, and he thought he was spitting. But I don't think this video is going to get uploaded. So we're just going to react to it now. And that's why we have his live stream on the screen. Because I've shown you how easy it is to disprove all of the nonsense that he's decided to film. And so if he won't upload the video, I will. Just like last time.
Adjust this a little bit.
And editor, you might have to skip around and do the editing for his editor. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's not like they were doing good work in the first place anyways, producing dog shit videos like the last one we fucking watched, so it's fine.
Are you ready? Do you need to use the bathroom? Do you need a snack? Are you taking notes? Have you taken out?
Okay, I'm gonna skip forward. I'm getting uncomfortable. Okay, first thing you can notice is that I've never seen a guy... Bro looks so nervous. I'm sorry. It looks like bro is like doing like one of those presentations in front of the class. He sounds so nervous right now. I would be too, though.
Bro. Hey, guys. So, this is going to be, due to popular demand, our...
I was one of the biggest requesters, by the way.
Second installment of the Art of Gacha War.
Also, is he like wearing his dad's clothes? I'm just wondering because everything looks like 2 sizes too big. What the fuck is he? I'm sorry. What? What the fuck? Where the... Looks fine to me? What?
As you can see, right here. The Art of Gacha War.
Ad hominem classic. I forgot. Yeah, my bad. I forgot. That's what Pokke's going to do now, guys. Anytime you simply make a comment about him, he's going to say you're wrong because it's ad hominem. I forgot. Yeah, that's going to be the new ultimate. Ad hominem. Brother. If he used it for this, he gonna use it for anything. So, yeah, maybe I should limit my comments about his wardrobe. Bro, what the hell? What is this?
2.0. And the category of today's lesson is going to be exposing an expert.
Bro, I feel like I lost IQ because he's talking so slow.
So without further ado, we're just gonna jump.
Yeah, that's how. Okay, bro. It's like he's trying to like psych himself up and like talking like real slow to like get more air into his chest because he's starting to feel like a little bit of like a little tingly over here because he's nervous. Bro, I see this is the thing. I know what it looks like when somebody is nervous doing a presentation, public speaking, that sort of stuff. This guy is fucking chuffed. Good lord, he is chuffed right now. This is a fucking disaster.
Straight into our lecture today. Before we do proceed, kindly remember to submit your assignments where you have applied your techniques taught yesterday by latest 6 p.m. On my desk. Otherwise, I will be punishing you to getting.
You know, this is like really weird when your audience is actually mainly 13-year-olds. This is actually super weird when your main audience is like people below 18, because that is yours, MrPokke.
A Bailu in your next temple. On our previous episode, where we essentially discussed the art of gacha.
You don't know the joke? Pokke basically made a joke about like if his viewers didn't turn in their homework, he was gonna punish them because they're naughty. That was the joke. Turn on subtitles, I can't.
Going through the 5 common tactics the gacha warriors will employ to effectively turn the tide of argument into their favor.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately,
so as you can see, I'm featured over here. I'm featured over here as you can tell. So there might be some people trying to say I'm not the actual object of the discussion. It's not a hit piece against me. Well, you can't really say that anymore, can you?
Mr. Santontes has taken grave offense to my Art of Gacha War. And he essentially turned it into a 1 hour, 20-minute crash out video.
No, it's 1 hour and 22 minutes of me laughing at your stupidity with the rest of my chat because you're one of the biggest lol cows. You're one of the biggest laughing stocks in the face or in the space. And you want to know how we know that? I'm pretty sure 90% of gacha CCs can just do this. I'll make a bet. All I need to do is click one button and there will be like 500 ohms in my chat. You ready? Was that 500 already? I don't know. Maybe we got to keep going. Oh, sorry. I forgot. This was only the first one. We got this one, too. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
On my 20-minute short little 5...
That was more ohms than views on his last video. I think you might be right, brother.
Gacha War skit when I mentioned his name a grand total of 0 times.
So, let's correct this misinfo over here. Pokke's out here saying, guys, I'm the victim. I didn't mention Saint at all. I mentioned his name a grand total of 0 times. Guys, I assure you, he's attacking me without reason. Guys, I assure you, I did not mention him by name. I did not mention him by name in my video. He is attacking me illegitimately. I see why this video didn't get uploaded. I see why this didn't get uploaded to YouTube now. I see why. I see why.
I showed his face twice. One at the start, for example, and the second one where he called me a grifting rat. So I'm not sure if it...
So, okay. Let me just replay this back. So he opens up with, I didn't say his name, but I referenced him in these 17 different ways. Was that the point that he just made? I didn't explicitly say his name, but here's 4 other ways I mentioned him. Let me just read one of the comments real fast from Maggie. I think she had a great one in this chat. Based. What was? Is this what you guys call based? You want to know what this is? I'll tell you what this is. This just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Yeah, that would be my conclusion from what we just saw on that clip. But that's going to be ad hominem, so maybe we can't... I don't know. I think the wording over here just makes me think he's stupid. I'm just good. Like, the way he worded that point makes me think he's dumb. I didn't say his name, by the way. I just referenced him in these 3, 4, 5 different ways. What's the big deal? Isn't that just retarded?
It's self-reporting, or if it's like his guilty conscience, but...
Wait, let's replay this back. Wait, okay, wait, I need to hear this whole sentence.
Save Gacha War skit. When I mentioned his name a grand total of 0 times, I showed his face.
1.
Twice.
Okay, so that's 2 times.
One at the start, for example, and the second one where he called...
Okay, so that's 4 times you mentioned me.
Red. So I'm not sure if it's self-reporting.
So you mentioned me the most out of any person, out of any entity in your video, because everyone else gets mentioned 1 time. And so when I make a response video, being the most frequently mentioned creator in your vid,
or if it's like his guilty conscience, but
so it's self-reporting or guilty conscience if the person who the hit piece is made on responds to the hit piece. So if you make a hit piece about somebody and they respond, you now got a guilty conscience, or you're self-reporting. You want to know what fallacy I'll just show you guys an example of right here? Right, we'll use Pokke's own video for this one.
And Genshin Impact at the same...
Oh, shit. The timestamp's right on the money. Isn't this literally a false dilemma? Huh. If you respond to a hit piece about you, it must be because you're guilty and you need to defend something. Yeah, you must have a guilty conscience. Probably self-reporting. This retard doesn't even know what he's talking about. And this is, again, why I'll replay this. This just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Because how do you open up your second video talking about fallacies and why they're so bad, and you again use another one right at the start? Just like the last video. Just like the previous video, where again, I proved that you were dumb and showed that you used the exact fallacy you were trying to point out as bad at the start of your vid to give the reason for why you're making this video. You're doing it again, and you're actually using the same fucking fallacy. That's unreal, bro.
But he has decided to fully dive into why Gacha War is not a proper lecture, and why Professor Pokke does not deserve to be publishing these kind of content.
I think the entire video, or the entire video up until now, is like an iron-proof case of that.
So, with that context being established, I will give Mr. Santondes exactly what he wants. Okay. Because one of his main arguments was he thinks that I made that video specifically about him.
So, let's listen to this part from his vid.
Right. I'm sure you guys, by the time you guys watch this video, you have seen a couple of other videos like this.
So, you see that over here. That's in the video in the first minute at 25 seconds. Then you see this over here at 2:27. And MrPokke's just outright telling you the video's not about me. Then you look at the comment section of this video and I wonder if this one's about me. Let's read the replies real fast. No, that one's about me. So the third most upvoted comment is about me. Where else? Has Pokke's been deleting the comments that have my name on them to further this narrative and lie? Pokke censored my name on his channel to delete all those comments. That's why you don't see a single comment with my name in it. He made it so that this narrative is true. He censored his comment section to try to make this narrative true. He is literally manipulating his comment section. Wow. Just to say it's not about me, but then references me in every single way. Do you guys see now why he never uploaded this? Are you guys seeing now why this is never going to get uploaded to his channel? Oh my lord, do we even need to watch the rest of this video?
But I didn't show a single clip.
Like, do we even need to watch the rest of this? Do we even need to look at the examples of where he's already lied so much? He's already lied so much and we haven't even got into his points.
Of his content. Now, why is that, class? Does anyone know the answer? Yes, Xiaoming right there. Oh, because you weren't aiming at him. Oh. Okay, so if Xiaoming can get it, I don't really understand
Wait, so he's saying he's saying that none of his video was aimed at me. Wait, he just factually said, I'm sorry, sorry, my fucking stomach reacted to the bullshit it just heard and made me burp. It was supposed to mimic vomiting because of how vile the fucking logic was in that statement. My bad. Never done that on stream before. What the fuck? How do you just go on stream and say that? Can you blame me for saying this? The thing is, this just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded. Is this ad hominem? When there's this much demonstration of his actual brain in front of you. No, this is just a fact at this point, bro. Because this guy is just straight face telling you, this video was not aimed at me.
To watch this video, you have seen a couple of other videos like this.
You're literally aiming your finger at me. You're pointing at me. You literally are aiming. What? He's literally aiming at me with his arm. What? This guy just goes up and just lies. He just goes up and just lies.
How that would be a very difficult concept to grasp. But if he really just wants me to provide context and clips and receipts specifically from his own channel.
And this is where I said he fell for my trap card, right? Because we've already, this is probably the 17th time you've seen this, right? This is an example of the types of clips that he's going to provide. One sentence clipped out of context that removes the entire reasoning, right? Just removes the entire reasoning. And then he proceeds to just go ahead, right? And say that it's a fallacy because you removed all the context. And when you remove the context from anything, it's a fallacy. That's the fucking point. Fallacies are fallacies 90% of the time because they don't have the context to explain them properly.
Because you want to self-report as a gacha warrior, then by all means, I will oblige. So let's jump in to our next topic of the advanced.
So Pokke's trying to make the case that I'm a gacha warrior. I'm going to make the case that he's a fucking idiot.
Gacha war strategy. And
I
the
think my
first
case
of
is
which
stronger.
is going to be this right here. A new concept today, class, where I will label this the poisoning the well. A negative, irrelevant information about a person is presented to an audience before they speak.
Oh, so you're going to take this direct quote. The only people who can believe what he says are literally retarded children. So, to disprove this, I'm literally just going to play back the section we just had. Pokke just said that he wasn't aiming at me when this is in the first minute and 22 seconds of this video. My take is that if you believe him, and this quote is actually replicatable over here. If you believe Pokke when he says that he never aimed at me and that wasn't his purpose when this is a frame from his video, I'm going to think, I'll say it again. You can only believe that if you're a retarded child. And this is why taking context out is so crazy. Because with the context, right, that Pokke just said he's not aiming at me, is this poisoning the well? Just tell me. Is it poisoning the well to say that the only person that can believe that is a retarded child if the statement is Pokke didn't aim at Saint? When you literally see him doing this to one of my videos and saying this is the reason why we're making this vid. Guys, that's example number one. I don't even need to play my video for that. Because you want to know when this statement was said? This statement was said after Pokke said something fucking stupid. That cannot be true. That makes no sense. Just like him not aiming at me. And so I said, the only people that can believe this are dumb fucking kids.
For this particular strategy, it essentially will deal a DOT 670% multiplier damage for 2 turns. Effectively, when you employ this strategy for your battlefield,
okay, so Pokke's basically just trying to say here, okay, he's wrong because I don't even know.
It's very nice because damage over time will prevent your enemies from knowing even what hit them.
Okay, I see why the video didn't get uploaded. This is so embarrassing and dumb.
You can just poison the well, and before they even know it, the argument has already fell apart. So
here's glue for your claim. This was the most liked YouTube... This was the most liked YouTube comment on the old video, and now this one's gone? So he deleted that one, proving he's censoring his comment section just to try to make it seem like I'm attacking him illegitimately. So he is literally caught trying to manipulate the narrative by deleting his comments mentioning me. But unfortunately, he didn't delete this from the video, nor did he delete this from the video. You can see he made the effort to be a rat. He tried his hardest, right? He tried to learn from Maggie how to do it. He was like, Maggie, Rat Sensei, Miss Splinter, how can I be as disgusting as you? Please, I need some advice. And so she probably told him about, we'll talk about lying tactics here. MrPokke will talk about fallacies. I'll talk about lying tactics. So MrPokke essentially used the quick swap, fuck it, we'll call it the fucking quick swap, the quick lie, right? But unfortunately, the issue with the quick lie is that he forgot the other pieces of evidence. He was so fast with his lie, he forgot the lie was linked to other things. And so he had to actually delete the comments, but then also tell his editors to cut this out of the video. But he forgot to tell his editors to cut this part out of the video. What a tragedy. What a tragedy. But hey, the unfortunate part though about a quick lie is that, well, if there's evidence or somebody was faster than you, well, that's gonna be a bit of an issue, isn't it? So yeah, MrPokke's been exposed on another lie. Let's keep going.
A classic example from Mr. Santones is going to be seen from this right here. And I quote, the only people who can believe what he says are literally, I'm not even sure, can I say the word, editor? You know, I'll just leave it up here. So that's going to be that. Blood children, look at his channel and thumbnail.
You wanna know why Pokke isn't saying that? Because he's got to keep his channel safe for all the retarded children watching his videos.
Appealing to blood children, right? And so here is the context for this clip right.
I'm so funny. I'm sorry. I need to pat myself on the back sometimes. I'm a really funny guy.
Here. Thank you, Santones. So this is a perfect demonstration of our DOT.
Wait, he doesn't even know what the clip is. So he tells the editor to put the clip in post-processing, and he doesn't even know what's playing. Wait. So he makes the argument, and then his editor plays it for him? Wait. So he makes the take, and then his editor just puts in a random clip that fits. That's why Wow, so the editor is actually doing all the work here. So, like, he's just saying shit, and then the editor puts the... Wow, this guy's a fucking awful boss, bro. I'm gonna be real. This guy sounds like a terrible fucking boss.
Strategy
What the fuck?
Poison the well. If you have any questions with regards to its similarities, compared to, let's just say, for example, our previous lesson of @homie Eminem, the difference is poison the well is a preemptive attack. It is attack.
No, so this is the thing. Poisoning the well would make sense if this was said before his arguments. When this is being said in response to the dumb shit he's saying, it's not poisoning the well. So MrPokke's not using the fallacy correct here because A, if you saw that somebody got a score of 20 on their IQ test and then you said, oh, your IQ's 20, you can't say that's poisoning the well because now all their colleagues think they're retarded. No, it's just a fact about them, and unfortunately, it has the effect of poisoning the well because they're naturally a fucking idiot. Much like how MrPokke, you being a shill is not poisoning the well for potential viewers, right? You could say, oh, all these people calling me a shill are poisoning the well for all these other viewers. That's why I'm only getting 1K on Genshin videos. No, it's not poisoning the well. It's just a wide-known fact that you're a bootlicking, corporate, grifting, lying rat. And that's why you don't get views. Yeah, we're good on that one.
That is not used intentionally during the course of battle, but it was planted before the battle even begins, right?
So yeah, that's the main important thing. So saying it in response to somebody doing something fucking stupid, that's not poisoning the well. That's a cause and effect. That's a from too.
That is a key difference which Mr. Santones has clearly illustrated here as one of my top students in the art of gacha war, right? So now we're going to be moving on into the next additional strategy.
Brother, I've never seen a worse explanation for these in my life.
And that is going to be my proof. So, Mr. Santones, here are my audience demographics for YouTube in the past. I think it was.
Okay, so literally a majority of your audience, holy shit, is under the age of fucking like 30. So, yes, you do mainly appeal to like fucking kids. Wait, what is he? What? Wait, is he trying to say this is proof?
Like, I don't know how many days.
Do you know how many underage kids lie about their age on YouTube? So, like, having 4% under 17 is impressive by itself. Most kids lie about their age to be in the 18 to 24 range. And some of them, depending on how long they've had their account, they're still under 18, but they're in the 25 to 34. Think about an 8 or 9-year-old that made an 18-year-old account. There's a lot of them. Especially with tablet kids nowadays, there's a lot of 8 or 9-year-olds back then that made 18-year-old accounts because, well, you know why. So to see his age range literally in either the youngest demographic or the demographic that is the faked one, and there's pretty much nothing anywhere else, I feel like that's particularly telling. Would you look at that, brother? Yeah, that's what mine looks like. So as you can see, tiny on the 13 to 17. Majority is in this range, and then of course I've got a larger, older audience as well. So if you want to do factual comparisons, MrPokke is literally appealing to more kids than I am. So it's proven.
And still here, 4.2% of my audience is under the age of 8.
Viewer age is based on the age users tell us when making their account. True.
For 33.6% of my audience is from 18 to 24, and 44.8% of my audience is 25 to 34. In fact, I literally have more people that are 45 to 54 years old than there are for 13 to 17 years old. So here is my receipt.
MrPokke is trying to say that he's not trying to appeal to kids. Sorry, I looked at this thumbnail and I determined you're trying to appeal to kids. Yeah, no, I'm just sorry. Sorry, I looked at this thumbnail and I determined you're trying to appeal to a younger audience of viewer. That's it. I don't need to say anything else. It's like a Zoomer brain rot, like made for young kids sort of thumbnail. Like it's just everyone can tell. There's not really too much else to say about that. So that's another one disproven.
Here are my receipts to essentially disprove this effective deal.
Find the 6-7 video. He has a 6-7 video.
Attack. If you can kind of think of this as like a cleanse, right? Like,
bro, what is this guy even saying anymore? All right, let's move on, bro. Let's move on to this one. We're out of here. All we need to do is take a look at one of his thumbnails and move on. I don't know. Of course, it makes sense why he's focusing only on his metrics right now, right? We've already shown that, okay, YouTube themselves tells you viewer age is based on the age users tell us. It does not reflect users under 18 appropriately. So, A, he didn't show that disclaimer either because it would disprove everything he's saying right now. So the only real measure that we have for how much a channel's appealing to kids is the design of their thumbnails, the design of their videos, the titling, all of that. And of course, the comments that they get in their comment section. So let's go ahead and see what the mental age of MrPokke's comment section looks like just to settle this kid debate once and for all. Let's see here. Let's read a couple. I can't really tell the mental age of this one, brother. Yeah, I can't really tell. He just doesn't get that many comments anymore. So the real main judge that we're gonna have is once again the videos, right? And so, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It's just, doesn't this just look like he's making Genshin Impact videos? It just looks like he's making Genshin Impact videos, right? It literally looks like, hey, like, what is the best chat GPT? How do I get the attention of a 10-year-old the fastest? And these are the thumbnails that get spat out. My argument is MrPokke's appealing to kids with his content. He showed you a bunch of statistics and numbers, right? That literally YouTube says in a disclaimer, this does not reflect users YouTube estimates to be under 18. That's the disclaimer MrPokke intentionally cut out of his PowerPoint. Just so you know. He intentionally cut it out. Because as you'll see over here, it's not here, right? He never shows that disclaimer because obviously all this explanation he's doing doesn't carry much weight if you pull out the disclaimer, right? Yeah, it's just because he didn't have space for it. It was nothing important. So we don't have the disclaimer. And then we also just have videographic evidence that this is how we make our videos. This is the starting frame of the vid, by the way. You're telling me this isn't made for kids? You're telling me this is made for a 24 to 34-year-old adult? How do you do, fellow kids? 67, am I right, kids? Imagine getting called out by your own audience. Imagine getting called out by your own audience that you're trying to appeal to kids. And then you like the comment as well. Are we just lying again? So this is just proof that we're lying again, right? And thank you, Pokke, for liking these. Guys, it's another example of the quick lie. Editor, get me a picture of my audience demographics, light speed. Editor, give me the audience demographics so I can lie about them real fast. Yep, let's lie. Oh shit, you forgot to delete those comments. Oh fuck. Oh no. Oh, I got caught in another quick lie. Oh fuck, chat. And guys, that's the problem with lying. When you have to lie this much, you end up forgetting all the other lies that you made in the past. And so when it's time to clean up all the lies, you end up missing one or two, and then it brings the entire house of cards falling down.
Cleansing the
Another example of it. So we can skip this point too. It's complete bullshit. Now let's move on to ad hominem.
To essentially
yeah, no, this is just fake. He already proved it's fake.
Tech.
What I love is that I get to show something that's so incriminating. It disproves everything he has left to say, and we just skip to the next section. It's cinema.
You can kind of think of this as like a cleanse, right? Like Hui, if she was not completely useless, cleansing the well that was poisoned by showing proof of what.
Hey guys, he's cleansing the well that got poisoned. Guys, he's cleansing the well that got poisoned. Remember that. Bro, you did it yourself.
Why that is not the case.
Bro, you can't be out here doing shit that makes you look bad. Somebody says, hey, Pokke, you're doing something that makes yourself look bad. And then they're like, stop poisoning the well. Pokke, you did this. How are you going to blame other people for the shit you're doing?
So let's move on into one of my personal favorites. The ad hominem 2.0, guys. So this is an additional island upgraded to the previous lessons ad hominem. I strongly encourage you guys to not use this before you mastered the previous attack, right? So for this particular case, when a race or nationalities is used to discredit
Pokke, the reason why people make fun of you in Singapore is because you did this because you got called the guy from Singapore.
Hey, kanina, this fucking uncle want to talk about Singapore. I got fucking problem with my accent of my country. Limpe happily minding my own fucking business.
It's like mint picker. Basically, everyone knows it pisses you off to simply be referenced as a guy from your country, which is like odd. This would be like me being pissed off from being called an American. I would only do that if I hated America. So maybe this means you hate Singapore because you got so pissed off from being referred to as the guy from Singapore that
business. This one will be a condescending towards my entire country. My friend Pokke called him a dog, right? I will show him a lot of fucking face already, you know, fucker.
Like you responded like that from being called the guy from Singapore. So that's why whenever possible, people will just call you like reference that you're from Singapore because they know it doesn't matter what the context is. You just get like you get bent out of pocket from it. And it's just really weird. So this is Pokke once again trying to misrepresent information by omitting context. So we'll move on from this one. Oh, but don't worry. He's got another ad hominem from me, though.
That he has built up for the past couple of months. But this is actually Santonis. So here's it.
So, like, what's the deal over here? Is he actually ever play these? Like, does he ever actually play these? Or like what's the point going on with this one? It's muted? Bro, making your job harder on purpose? Guys, this is the great news.
What we have here today is a classic Hoyo show take from a favorite guy.
Oh, he's trying to be me. Oh, okay, then I'll pretend to be MrPokke then, right? He's pretending to be me. I'll react like MrPokke to this piece. Oh my god, oh my god! What is he doing over here? Oh, he's pretending to be saying tontas. Oh my god.
MrPokke, and I'm here to explain why Arknight's Endgame has the worst gacha in history. They will leave with you.
No, Arknight's Endgame is the best gacha in history. I'm getting my entire community to donate to the Pokke Corp. Yes, sir, the Pokke Corp is gonna be spending thousands of dollars day one. We're gonna get Yvonne, we're gonna get Gilberta, and of course, Leviathan. Yeah. He's so pissed. He's so mad. He's so mad. Bro, you can tell he's fucking mad. Pokke Corp is gonna do everything.
And I think they got it right. Thank you, Zendonis. So here is a extremely effective way of applying the ad hominem 2.0 strategy for the additional 24% damage, because what is done over here is technically not classified as explicit racism. You can always sweep it under the rug as we are simply doing impression. Well, Pokke, you mimic an American accent to talk like me at the beginning of this section. Wait, this guy's only purpose is to make out-of-context clips, but then it's just so easy for me to get the context. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here today is a classic Hoyo show take from our favorite guy. Oh, he's trying to be me. Oh, okay, then I'll pretend to be MrPokke then. This guy's out here clutching his pearls on the topic of mimicking accents being racism as he mimics an American accent to sound like me and then pretends to be offended about me mimicking his accent to sound like him. That's what's going on here. Wait, this is what he's calling ad hominem 2.0. Oh, he's trying to be me. Oh, okay, then I'll pretend to be MrPokke then. Oh, way of applying the ad hominem 2.0 strategy for I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Every time, like, what am I even saying at the start? What am I even saying at the start, bro? For the additional 24% damage, because what is done over here is technically not classified as explicit racism. Remember, you can always sweep it under the rug as we are simply doing impression. He is trying to pretend to be me. Guys, I find this just so shocking. After he literally, me doing that is in response to him pretending to be me. Oh, guys, I also forgot. This whole scene where he pretends to be me, right? This is in the same video, and this is also the same take, right? Where he was saying that he wasn't referencing me, and that this video wasn't aimed at me. Just so you know, this is the same video. Remember at the start of the vid, he said this vid wasn't aimed at me? This entire piece where he pretends to be me is in it. I think at this point, I don't think we need to watch anymore. We're already approaching an hour with this one. And as you can tell, I don't think Pokke's going to upload this vid. This is the biggest train wreck I think I've ever seen. So let me just recap this final point over here, right? Because I'm kind of like done. I'm kind of like done with this one, right? After this contradiction, bro, I think we have enough glue. There's like no real point, right? This is basically, I think, just the perfect summary of why this guy's stupid. A 1 hour, 20-minute crash out video on my 20-minute short little 5 gacha war skit. When I mentioned his name a grand total. So let's revisit this with the full knowledge. He made an entire skit to mock me as well. Of 0 times. He makes this entire skit about me, right? And then ends it with this amazing scene. So in conclusion, a classic outtake from Hoyo Show, Hyper River, MrPokke. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next time when I explain why HSR version 4 is gonna be the worst patch in the history of gacha games. On top of mocking me, this guy also implies that I'm getting evicted and I'm about to be homeless and make no money as well. He did all of these things, and then in the response video today says this. 1 hour, 20-minute crash out video on my 20-minute short little 5 gacha war skit. When I mentioned his name a grand total of 0 times, I showed his face twice. One at the start, for example, and the second one where he called me a grifting red. So I'm not sure if it's self-reporting or if it's like his guilty conscience, but he has decided to fully dive into why gacha war is not a proper lecture. and why Professor Pokke does not deserve to be publishing these kind of content.
Remember, after somebody says this about you, if you respond to them, right? If you respond to somebody who says these things about you, remember, guys, self-reporting or guilty conscience. Somebody called you broke and that you were late on rent and gonna get evicted. You respond to that, and that's a guilty conscience. And self-reporting, I guess.
So, with that context being established, I will give Mr. Santondes exactly what he wants. Because one of his main arguments was he thinks that I made that video specifically about him. A couple of other videos like this.
Bro's just out here with, I think we've identified like 7 different references to me and a whole 2-minute skit about me in the vid, and this guy's just repeatedly saying it's not about me.
But I didn't show a single clip of his content. Now, why is that, class? Does anyone know the answer? Let's see.
And so, Pokke's excuse for why he didn't show a single clip about me, but then also made an entire skit about me. So this is him excusing why he provided no context.
Ah, yes, Xiaoming right there. What do you say? What do you say? Oh, because you weren't aiming at him.
And that's the final line that we wanted to get to. This is a CC who's getting caught up in a web of lies that they've spun themselves. And it's so clear from all the different things that they've actually missed on accident that they're all getting exposed later. And this really reminds me a lot of a content creator in the past that doesn't really have a career anymore because of all the lies that they spread. And that's Atsu. And so, I guess those dinners really did lead to something, and I guess the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree, because, it's happening again, boys. To, wrap up this entire scenario, this is what's going on. Pokke basically uploaded this dog shit video that we've pretty much confirmed is a complete attack on me, mocks me for being poor, blah, 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 does all this stuff, references me multiple times. It's clear that this is meant to be an attack, right? I address it. Pokke wants to frame my response, where I farmed the shit out of him, as me, crashing out. And now he's trying to paint this image of me as, responding irrationally. The video wasn't aimed at me. None of this was actually real. Saint's delusional. He's attacking me for no reason. It's not that deep. He's saying all of that and backpedaling now. But unfortunately, with the breakdown that we've done today, there's too much evidence for him to have erased all of it. He does, in fact, appeal to kids. Kids are a major focus on his channel. So much so that his own audience members, and he's loving the tweets too. He's commenting, hearting them, right? Recognize he's doing this exact approach that I've mentioned he's doing, right? He'll try to tell you with his stats that it's not true, but the stats themselves tell you they don't represent users under 18 properly. So that's one instance where, again, he's lying. Here's another instance where he's deleting comments to ensure that this narrative that Saint is never getting mentioned in the comment section is true, right? Making sure that my name is on the banned words list. Added this one on there as well so we could keep the narrative going. Unfortunately, we got screenshots. You weren't fast enough with this one, dumbass. And, yeah, I mean, just with everything else, right? We've already gone through this whole, incredible lying charade he just went through at the fucking start. This insane lying charade to say that he didn't mention me. And then, of course, we've already broken down just what he does when he grabs context. Guys, remember, his excuse for not having context in the prior vids, his excuse for that, guys, was the fact that he said the video wasn't aimed at me. And when he does get the context, guys, this is how much context he removes from the clips. Literally grabs an insult when it's tied to a statement, removes the statement, and just says, look at this guy insulting me for no reason. But glad we were able to point out the instances where we saw it happening. But when that's all that's going to go on in this video, and we've been spending more time pausing just to unravel the web of fucking tangled lies this guy has spun. This is gonna be like a 2-hour vid, but MrPokke ain't worth 2 hours anymore. And the only way you need to know how much MrPokke's time isn't worth anymore, it's the fact that nobody else values you very much either. And so I'm gonna stop griefing my viewers on my channel by making them watch somebody so unwatchable. Because even if his own viewers aren't watching him, why am I making my viewers watch him? All right, guys, Saint from the future here. Some may accuse me of not watching the rest of the video, so I'm going to actually address the main argument of why I'm wrong over here on the gacha issue, just so that I can immediately show you the fallacy that Pokke is making, so that we can move on and just not watch this shit, because this guy is just talking, and it's just fucking air. It's noise. It's not actual fucking words. I'll tell you why.
Why Santonte's argument is wrong over here, right?
So, MrPokke has boiled down the entire basis of why I'm wrong and my entire argument into two options. It's literally just these two, and the entire basis is on money. So, MrPokke is basically saying I'm wrong on all of my points because it's just these two things that are going on. Let me direct you to the literal fallacy that MrPokke decides to point out in his first fucking video. The false dilemma. Presenting only two choices when more exist. So, Pokke, in this entire breakdown and section, in his infinite wisdom, right? This is the part that people are gonna say, oh, Saint lost because he didn't watch this. I'm not watching this because this guy is too retarded to understand the fallacies he literally covered in the video he made less than 24 hours ago. He doesn't understand the own fallacies that he covered in this video. He's saying he's a teacher. He doesn't even understand them. Because he literally uses it here to strawman and boil down my argument into 2 sentences when this is not even slightly indicative of anything I've said. And so, it's just another example of Pokke going ahead, removing context, substituting his own reality so that he can... I don't even know what the fuck this point is. Bro's out here only talking about pity carry forward and the topic of money when there's literally the advantage of having more characters on your account, right? Being able to pull on the gacha, use the rebate store, all of that that's associated with pity carryover. But he doesn't talk about any of those benefits. All he talks about is the money, and is saying the entire argument is wrong because of that. That's a fallacy, which most people would understand. That's why they wouldn't argue like this. And you would definitely understand it if you weren't an idiot and made a video about this exact fallacy the other day. But he doesn't remember what he did 24 hours ago because his brain operates like a fucking goldfish. And so he just, like, goes again. Which is just nuts once you think about it. That's going to be a breakdown for why we don't watch the rest of whatever this segment is. He actually did upload it, but at the time of recording, well, it wasn't up. We're still not going to watch the rest of it because, as we've proven, it's just full of dog shit points. But just wanted to let you all know that, yes, everything I said about what this video was going to be came true. It's an expose that exposes more of Pokke than me. Don't mind the fact that this guy is subscribed. He actually got gifted a sub the other day. We actually found out, though, that this Itzel of Death over here, this is one of MrPokke's editors. Yeah, no, this is literally one of MrPokke's editors. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, they came to my chat during this video to literally beg me to stop. They came to my chat during this video to beg me to stop what I was doing to MrPokke. If you feel the need to do this, to defend your streamer offline in another chat, maybe they're doing something wrong. It's not begging? Oh, no, you're begging too. Oh, I know, Junebug. It's fine, Junebug. I know you're begging as well. Because I recognize you. You're also a MrPokke chatter. And you want to know what the first sign of that is? Is because you've chatted in this chat before, but you're just following today. So let me go provide the proof of that. So you have 51 messages. They're all spaced out. And that's because you follow and unfollow me. That's literally what happens. And so, Junebug, you are here to beg. Otherwise, why the fuck are you on my channel? Making the effort to watch my channel when it's outside of your regular schedule, going through all of that, it's the same thing as begging. Hey, he's not just crowdsourcing his Arknight's Enfield account, guys. He's also crowdsourcing the fucking defense of his dog shit takes with his viewers as well. Amazing. That'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. We're cutting it short for a reason, but hopefully you all understand. And I don't think there's any reason to need to even explore that disaster class of a fucking VOD any further. Peace out. This just leads me to believe that Pokke's retarded and his entire editing team is retarded.